It's 11 p.m. You should be asleep, but your brain is replaying a conversation from this morning, analyzing every word choice, running through what you should have said differently. And the frustrating part, you knew you were doing it, you just couldn't stop. This video is going to explain exactly why, and the answer is probably not what you expect. The overthinking trap. You've probably been told at some point to just stop overthinking it, as if you could flip a switch and make your brain go quiet. But here's what that advice gets completely wrong. You're not overthinking because something is broken. You're overthinking because something is working exactly as it should. Every time your mind is idle, not locked onto a task, a specific network in your brain activates. Scientists call it the default mode network. It's your brain's background processing system. And it does something remarkable. It connects information, simulates future scenarios, reflects on the past, and generates ideas. For most people, this network ticks along quietly. But in people with higher cognitive capacity, in people like you, this network is significantly more active. More connections, more processing, more of everything. That's not a flaw. That's your brain doing its job at a higher level than most. Why smart brains are built different. In 2015, researchers at King's College London published findings linking higher IQ scores to increased neural connectivity. Specifically, more active connections between the default mode network and the prefrontal cortex, the region of your brain responsible for critical thinking, analysis, and planning. In plain terms, a more intelligent brain has more mental roads connecting different regions, and more roads mean more traffic. Think about what happens when you overthink a simple decision. Let's say you're weighing two job offers. Most people might just pick the higher salary, but your brain doesn't stop there. It runs 5-year trajectories. It considers how each choice aligns with your long-term values. It imagines how you'll feel about this moment a decade from now. It accounts for variables most people wouldn't even think to consider. That's not indecision. That's processing power most people simply don't have access to. The problem isn't the thinking. The problem is that your brain applies that same power to everything, including things that genuinely don't require it. And that's where the cost begins. The hidden cost. Because here's the paradox nobody prepares you for. The more clearly you can see possibilities, the more intelligent you are. The more clearly you also see what could go wrong. Every opportunity comes packaged with a simultaneous analysis of its risks. Every relationship comes with an awareness of how it could end. Every decision carries the weight of every path not taken. Researchers have a name for this: depressive realism. The tendency for people with higher cognitive ability to assess situations more accurately than people with average cognition, less optimism bias, more clear-eyed awareness of risk, uncertainty, and complexity. The same intelligence that lets you see further also means you can't look away. And so the overthinker doesn't just think more, they feel more, they worry more, they carry more. Not because they're anxious by nature, but because their brain is doing an incredibly thorough job of being thorough. If you've ever been told you're too sensitive, too serious, or that you need to just relax and go with the flow, what they were actually seeing was a mind that doesn't do shallow. So what do you do with this? You don't suppress it. Trying to silence an overactive, intelligent mind is like trying to stop a river with your hands. You work with it. 3 approaches grounded in actual neuroscience. First, scheduled processing time. Your brain overthinks partly because it doesn't trust that important things will get addressed. Give it a dedicated window, 15 to 20 minutes where you intentionally process, write, and plan. When your brain knows it has time to think, it releases the background pressure. Second, the useful or not question. Not every thought needs resolution. When you catch yourself spiraling, ask, is this thought moving me towards something actionable, or is it running in circles? Useful to engage with it. Circular, release it. That single distinction cuts overthinking in half. Third, output before sleep. Your default mode network is most active as you transition to rest. A brain dump before bed. Writing down everything circling in your mind is essentially offloading RAM. Your brain stops looping because it knows it's been recorded. These aren't cures. They're protocols for a mind built for depth, and a mind built for depth deserves to be worked with, not against. Your brain doesn't overthink because it's broken. It overthinks because it refuses to be shallow. And while that comes with a cost, the exhaustion, the endless analysis, the weight of seeing too clearly, it also comes with something most people will never have: the ability to understand the world and yourself at a level that actually means something. That's not something to fix, That's something to understand. If this is how your mind works, like this video and hit that subscribe button. This channel exists for people who think too deeply to be satisfied with surface-level answers. And if this video resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear that their overthinking isn't a flaw. It might be the most important thing they watch today.